Hans, we want to spotlight our next speaker, Mr. Anthony Garcia. There he is. He's ready. Hey, Anthony. Hey, was that cool to watch a Cutco demo right there? Hans, you got to make sure to unmute Anthony so he can be unmuted there. So you guys, I could go on and give Anthony this amazing introduction. Anthony, you can probably talk about how, when you sold Cutco and how long you worked for Cutco. His most recent book that just came out, which is pretty great, it's called Catapulting Commissions. Anthony is now a sales trainer. He's worked for Cutco for several years. He's worked for several other companies, and now he's a very highly sought after professional sales trainer for companies that he works for, but also like outside speaking and speaking engagements and things like that. And I just invited him on to talk a little bit about his experience when he was a Cutco rep and kind of how it's helped him beyond that. So Mr. Garcia, you're up for the next 10 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap this up.
Perfect. Well, thank you for having me. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear.
Yes.
Very humble and privileged to be here. Parents, hello. As Jay Brad said, my name's Anthony Garcia. And coming back to the Cutco family, I first started selling Cutco in 2003, spent 6 years, and I did every capacity. I sold Cutco while in college, played football, went to Azusa Pacific, ran a pilot office, and then relocated to Bakersfield, California, where I ran the district office for 3 years. Fast forwarded now, 2020, I speak, consult, and coach, and I also manage a high-performing sales team. And I truly, truly stand by what I'm going to say next. The skills we learn in selling Cutco, the skills we learn in delivering high quality products, the skills you learn with the rejection that comes going through Cutco, it's lifelong. I have people who work for me that I struggle to understand how they're not as well trained as a 19 or 20 or 18-year-old kid selling Cutco for the summer. Real fun fact, I recently read an article in Entrepreneur magazine, and it said every professional should start a career in sales. Regardless of what you do, what your passion is, you should start a career in sales. And the 3 reasons that are listed was you learn hard work, resilience, and a growth mindset. Hard work, resilience, and a growth mindset. And I couldn't stand behind that more. It's going to be more true in today's day and age, because the amount of resilience that is learned and spent over summer selling Cutco is going to prepare for life. I really believe there's a point in life where we want to give our children, our kids, forced adversity. I have an 11-year-old daughter who I put in Taekwondo for forced adversity. There's nothing like forced adversity when you get kicked in the face. So she does that. As we become teenagers and we become young adults, we still have to find those opportunities for forced adversity for our children to grow. And Cutco prepares that. Now, your child may sell Cutco, and I would share this message when I was a district manager running training, and I would share it now. If anyone wants to pick up the phone and call me, email me, or look for me, I would say the same message. Whether your child sells Cutco for 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years, or they can be a lifelong person, and I recognize some of the names in the chat box that I've sold Cutco with from 2003, you're going to grow. That's the #1 guarantee, is who you were when you started selling Cutco and who you'll become at the end is going to be a different person. And that change is for the better, and that change is for the positive. And that growth that we discuss, and everybody here, you're spending your Saturday evening on a Zoom call to talk to crazy kids that want to sell Cutco and kitchen knives. It's not normal. It's not everyone says, hey, I want to spend Saturday night on a Zoom call. But that shows your dedication to your commitment and growth for your children. And the truth is, our children only grow when they're pushed. And Cutco does a phenomenal job at that push, which we call forced adversity, and it's through a designed push period. And I believe it's 16 or 17 days now, but that period is designed to test every capacity, every mental capacity, every physical capacity that your child is going to go through. And they simply do it by having a support system in place. Now, you can already tell the support system at Cutco was world class. So when Jay Brad reached out to me and asked if I would share a few thoughts, it wasn't even a thought process. It was absolutely not a doubt on my mind, because I wanted to give back to the community that created my brand and business today. Moving forward, you can provide that same support system by simply holding your child accountable. In 2003, I remember sleeping in because I hung out late at night with some friends, and my district manager called my house phone, because we still had house phones. And I heard my phone ring at 7:05 in the morning, and I was supposed to be making phone calls at 7 a.m. And she simply said, Patty, which is my mom's name, Anthony is supposed to be here at 7 o'clock. He's not here. Is everything okay? And my mom woke me up. It was the first time I experienced a level of support where I belonged to a greater purpose. I belonged to a team. My mom was on my support system, and it really helped transition my career, because I knew I had that support at home, and you can definitely provide that you can provide that for your children. And one of the last messages that I really want to share, Cutco is a unique product in this capacity. Anyone who you know, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, anyone who you know will benefit from owning or at least learning about Cutco. There's not a doubt in my mind. You never have to be embarrassed because your kid sells Cutco. There's products and companies and services that people sell that sometimes aren't a respectable product or aren't a respectable service, or they don't do what they say they're going to do. Cutco's not in that category. I've never been embarrassed on who I sold Cutco to, and I sold Cutco to a lot of people, friends, families, girlfriends, wives, exes, you name it. I've covered the capacity of everyone in my family. So I share that message with you with 100% honesty that Cutco does what it says it's going to do. My first kitchen knife set is from 2003. It's the same kitchen knife set I have in my home, and everyone who comes to my home knows the value of those knives. I've ran into customers when I launched my book recently. I had a big book party, and I had people show up who I sold Cutco to in 2003, and they said, wow, I didn't think you would be here. My very first response was, how are your knives? I love them. I've purchased multiple, many more, and we have a great fair and show team, and there's a couple of my colleagues who sell Cutco to some of my old customers. But the message behind that, the product says what it's going to do. And in this day and age, if there was an accountability for products, Cutco is the market leader. It's forever guaranteed. I believe they still have a trial period, so if someone tries a product, they don't like it, they can send it back. But I sent back cutting boards that I've had in my garage for 8 years, and I received new ones. This was the greatest investment of my life, and they were things that we don't think about. So one of the biggest things that my message will end with today, if you can support your kid facing this forced adversity from a push period and growth, do so. Give them some people to talk to that would challenge them. Give them some people to talk to that may or may not benefit from Cutco. Just allow your kid to experience it, because by doing so, you give them opportunities that real life is going to present them. Real life is going to give them opportunities where someone's going to want to talk to them and not going to want to talk to them. Real life's going to give them opportunities where someone doesn't want to buy what they have to sell and someone will. And sometimes what they have to sell is simply themselves in that next job interview. So if I could ever be of any assistance, or if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to me. I'll leave my contact in the chat as soon as I'm done speaking. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about my experience and give you some more details. So I thank you for allowing me to participate today, and I wish you guys nothing but success in your upcoming push period.
Awesome. Hey, Anthony, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Back from the old days. So just in case anybody wants to know more about Anthony, you can look this up online, Catapulting Commissions. This is his most recent book, and a lot of, you read through this, and it's a lot of sound principles of life, sound principles of motivation, sound principles of selling that, I'm proud to say that most of that stuff probably he learned selling Cutco many years ago in an organization that I managed. So I'm proud of that. Appreciate that.